About 80% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa live in rural areas and derive their livelihoods from agriculture. Potato is one of the most important food and cash crops, providing farming households with a nutritious diet and generating a much-needed income to many. Potato crop is primarily cultivated by small-scale farmers, and its market demand has been rapidly increasing over the last 20 years. Despite its significance in Eastern Africa, potato faces many challenges. On average, the potato yields in Ethiopia, Kenya, and Uganda are below 10 tons per hectare, against a potential of 30 to 35 tons per hectare. Several factors have contributed to poor production in the potato subsector. Key factors include high disease pressure, lack of clean seed, poor soil fertility and soil health, and poor crop management. Mr. Ayahu Tesfaye is a farmer from the northwestern region of Ethiopia in the Amhara region. On this plot of land, he and his family work tirelessly to produce good yields, oblivious of the forces against them, such as the bacterial wilt pathogen. In his plot, there are patches of wilting plants, a sure sign that bacterial wilt is a major issue. His entire crop will eventually get infected with the disease, which would almost certainly lead to a total yield loss and devastation for him and his family.
እንግዲህ መድኃኒት ገዝቼ አሁን ለመከላከል እየሞከርኩ ነው። መድኃኒት ገዝቼ ተከራክዬ አቃቴ ወደ ከመፍትሄ በላይ ምን አደርጋለሁ? 5600 ወጪ ያወጣሁኝ አገኛለሁ ብዬ ጥቅም ላይ ወላለሁ ብዬ እና ከከሰረ ላምበሬ የሚመጣለት ያገኛለሁ። እንግዲህ ላንተ ነው ነገር እንግዲህ እና እዚህ አገኛለሁ የሚል ነው ጥቅሜ።
His story reflects millions of other farmers in the region. And tragically, most farmers do not have the technical knowledge and understanding on how to identify and react to such diseases.
Bacterial wilt is one of the most deadly diseases in East and Central Africa. This disease is caused by a pathogen called Ralstonia solanacearum. The disease is spread via the soils and also the affected seeds.
The situation in East African countries is aggravated by farmers' lack of knowledge about key issues of crop rotation and soil health management. Many farmers plant potato all year round, not understanding that by doing so, they are predisposing their land to increased risk of soil-borne diseases, such as bacterial wilt. To address these problems, a 3-year project with the title Soil Fertility and Soil Health, funded by the Austrian Development Agency, was initiated in February 2010 by the International Potato Centre.
The project focuses on capacity building of African researchers in the management on soil fertility and soil health issues in potato-based system. We are integrated in a participatory way farmers in Uganda and Ethiopia to see the outcome and the potential of adoption of new technologies in the field.
The main idea behind this project was to reduce soil-borne pathogens, particularly the bacterial wilt, which was a deadly disease in the potatoes in Ethiopia and Uganda, and also improve the soil fertility.
The project was done in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, National Agricultural Research Institutes in Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia, Egerton University in Kenya, and Boku University in Vienna, Austria.
Egerton University, which is in Kenya, is much close, and that's how we came in with the following tasks. First of all, we were to run trials, and secondly, we were to coordinate other activities in the region, especially the socio-economic activities.
Bacterial wilt is a global disease. It is so devastating in East Africa because of a few key reasons: lack of clean seed potato, infected soils, and lack of knowledge among potato-growing farmers. Ethiopia is a country located to the north of Kenya and Uganda. It is in the highlands and is a country rich in agricultural potential. In Ethiopia, potato is a very important horticultural crop, and is consumed to complement the favourite cereal foods like teff, wheat and barley. It is here at the Ethiopia Institute of Agricultural Research, Adet Station, situated in the northwestern region of Amhara, where scientists have been working on clean seed multiplication of improved varieties.
Adet is working on potato for the country, and at this time we have released about 30 potato varieties that germplasm is from SIP, and SIP has helped us in providing not only germplasm but also financials like ADA project.
Holeta is another research station located a few kilometres from the city of Addis Ababa. Here, scientists work further on developing biological control agents of bacterial wilt disease. Dr. Bekele Kasa, a plant pathologist, has worked in this research institution for over 23 years. Today, Dr. Kasa is conducting an experiment where he introduces the bacterial wilt pathogen and potential biocontrol agent into the same culture plate. This is done to obtain the most suppressive biocontrol agent against the destructive pathogen.
We are start to use biological agents to control bacterial wilt. We are trying to see their effect, their inhibition effect on bacterial wilt, Rarstoria solanacearum.
From the results obtained, Dr. Kasa was able to conclude that 5 biocontrol agents effectively suppress the bacterial wilt pathogen up to 80%.
Actually, they showed they had some level of inhibition effect on the pathogen. There is a possibility of considering those bioagents and integrating with other control measures to control bacterial wilt.
In Ethiopia, the project focused on 3 main areas: developing a crop rotation system to manage bacterial wilt disease and to improve soil fertility, provision of clean planting materials sourced from the highlands where clean seed potato production was done, conducting farmers' participatory research groups. This is Shashamene, a hotspot area for bacterial wilt in Ethiopia. A while ago, farmers looked on in disbelief as their crops wilted away. They hardly knew what was happening. However, through farmer participatory research, they were provided with clean seed, equipped with necessary information on a range of topics, including bacterial wilt disease management, soil health, crop management, and training on identifying the disease on the farms through a diagnostic process called the bacterial oozing test for early detection of bacterial wilt pathogen. With this test, the farmers can now identify and diagnose bacterial wilt infected plants by cutting the stem of wilting plants and suspending it using a wire in clear water. If the plant is infected, then bacterial ooze will be seen coming out of the cut stem into the clear water.
At on-farm levels, farmers are able to directly establish whether a suspected wilting plant is infected with bacterial wilt or not. And with this, the farmer is able to decide whether they are going to use the produce from that farm as seed or for ware production.
አሁን ይሄን በሽታ መርምረን ከደረስንበት በኋላ ለምርቱም ውጤት አግኝተናል በማለት እኛ ተደስተንበታል። ስለዚህ በጣም የሚያስደስት ስራ ስለሆነ አሁን ከናንተ ጋር በመቆየታችን ህዝቡ ደግሞ ከዚህ በላይ እንዲለወጥ የሚመጣ ውጤት ነው። ሰው ይለወጥበታል፣ ገበሬው ደግሞ ይደሰትበታል በማለት እኛ አሁን ተባብረናል።
In this village, a few kilometres from the capital city, Addis Ababa, this farming group, comprising mainly of women, could not hide their joy.
እሱ ከገባ ወዲህ በምግብም ሆነ በሌሎችም እሱንም ሽጠን ልጆችን ማስተማር ሌሎችንም ነገር ማዳበሪያ አካባቢ እሱንም ሽጠን ለማግዛት ብዙ ልዩነት አለው። ያሳድጋል እንጂ አያሳጥርም። ድንቹ በጣም ያሳድጋል እንጂ አያሳጥርም። ለወደፊቱም ግን ልጆቻችንና እኛ ራሳችንን ለማሻሻልና ብዙም ነገር ሁሉንም ነገር ለማስራት ለሱ ስለሆነ ለወደፊቱም በደንብ እንሰራለን ብለን እናስባለን። ከወልታ እርሻ ምርምር ጋር በድርጅትም ብዙ መሬት አለን። በቤታችንም ላይ እንሰራለን ብለን አስበናል።
In Ethiopia, several farmer groups like this were dotted across potato growing areas. The groups, comprising of between 20 and 60 men and women, were involved in bacterial wilt management, soil health, and better crop management.
Generally, we gave all kind of training about bacterial wilt, how to control, how to manage, and finally, at the end, really we reach in a good achievement that the risk of bacterial wilt is reduced now. Farmers produce again like previous times.
ይሄ ጠቅላላ በባክቴሪያ የተበከለ ነበር፣ ብክለት ነበረው እና ያን ነገር ቅድም እንደገለጹት አዴት ምርምር ከመጣ የኔም ማሳያች ማሳ አዴት ምርምር ይዞ የነበራት በቆሎ እናንተ ይዛችሁ የነበራችኋት ማለት ነው። እዚያም በኋላ እዚህ ላይ ሙከራውን ሲሰራ ከምንድነው ሲል እንደዚህ ትምህርቱን ከወሰድነ በኋላ ያው 3 አመት አሳርፌ እዚህ ላይ ያው እንደዚህ ዘርቼ ሄድንች ወጣ እዚህ ማሳ ላይ ነው። በዚህ በኋላ ማለገና ያልወጣና ያው በግሩፕ ነው ምን ሰራ 16ቱም አንድ 3 ሰዎች ናቸው አሁን ያልገባቸው እንጂ እና ያለዋሉ አሁን ጥሩ ማሳ ያዘጋጁ 3 አመት 4 አመት ያፈራረቅነ ይዘራል። አንደኛ በመጀመሪያ ማሳውን ስናርሰው የተጠቀምነበትን የተበከለውን መሬት ስንጠቀም የነበረው ማረሻ ያው ቅድም እንደተባለው በሳት ለብልበን ነው እኛ ምናርስ።
Bacterial wilt is both a seed and soil-borne disease. It thrives in the soil for longer periods as long as there is host plant to sustain it. It is more prevalent and devastating to the potato and to crops in the same family. It can also survive in plants latently without showing any symptom, and this can make the disease go unnoticed with the naked eye, hence leading to it easily spreading via seeds to other regions if proper care is not taken. Capacity building was a key component of this project. Several scientists from the 3 Eastern African countries of Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia acquired grants to pursue master's and doctorate degrees. This is Egerton University in the Rift Valley of Kenya. Phoebe Mwaniki is a PhD student at this university. Today we meet her at the university's experimental site. Phoebe is experimenting with the effects of soil amendments and the effects of viable crop rotation system in suppressing bacterial wilt incidence and improving soil health and soil fertility status.
In this experimental site, we are looking at the effect of different crops rotated with potato on bacterial wilt. The 4 families that we used was Arium, Brassicacea, the cereals, and also the legumes. And according to our experiments, the plots that had the potato crop or potato within the 3 seasons had very high bacterial wilt incidence at around 80 to 90% wilt incidence. In the treatments where we had 1 season crop rotation with potato, also the bacterial wilt was quite high to around 40 to 60%. Some of the best treatments were from the cereal Arium combinations, that is onion, wheat, potato, berry, onion, potato, that is interchangeably onion and wheat and berry. These ones gave us reduced bacterial wilt incidence.
When you do the crop rotations, the disease pathogens are able, the life cycle is broken due to the different families, and thus the disease incidences are lesser than when you do a monocrop.
On these seed plots, she inoculated the soil with the bacterial wilt pathogen that was prepared in the laboratory. She then applied different organic soil amendments and fertilizers to the soil in different plots.
We are having 8 treatments, which are inorganic and organic fertilizers. We also have a negative control where we are not treating the plots with any amendment. Half of the seed rot we are treating with CleanStart. This is a seed treatment that contains 4 components. That is Fosguard, Root Guard, Humax, and Natural Wet.
From her observations, it became clear that bacterial wilt incidence was reduced in some plots.
And from the results from the first season, we realized that when we amended the plots with NPK, which has a ratio of 17-17-17, and we treated the tubers with CleanStart, we were able to get a higher yield of 33 tons per hectare.
Joyce Guk is also a beneficiary of the project grant. She is a master's student at the University of Nairobi studying sustainable soil resource management.
My first experiment was looking at the influence of a Bacterial mycorrhiza. These are 3 commercial isolates of fungi and a phosphosolubilizing bacteria on a potato. There I used 3 varieties of potato, that is Kenyampia, Tigoni, and Asante. And I was looking on their influence in terms of yield, in terms of shoot biomass, in terms of root colonization, and the spore counts in the soil. And the findings were that the Bacterial mycorrhiza and phosphosolubilizing bacteria were actually effective in enhancing the yield of potato. And actually the rate of colonization was even higher, where we saw that there was a combination of both the mycorrhiza and the phosphosolubilizing bacteria. In terms of phosphorus uptake, actually the beneficial microorganisms were able to enhance the uptake of phosphorus in potato. This was especially so in Kenyampia. When mycorrhiza was combined with the phosphosolubilizing bacteria, actually the influence was much higher than when they were in single combination.
In Uganda, the drums have gone silent. With potato already on its deathbed, farmers here relied on farmers' saved seeds and buying seed potato from their neighbours and market. This led to a reduction in yields over time due to the accumulation of diseases and reduced genetic vigour, leading to a slow but sure death of potato farming. In fact, the farmers here gave up on the potato crop about 20 years ago. But hope was on its way. At this research station, situated in the mountainous regions of Mount Elgon in eastern Uganda, scientists are working on an intervention to hopefully save the situation.
This prompted us to respond by producing basic seed so that we can provide sufficient and clean planting material for our farmers because of the cry and the demand for the quality seed. We previously used to produce on only about 1 hectare of land until we got support from the ADA project and the SIP, where we've now increased our production to 2 hectares of land twice a year, and that means we end up with at least 40 tons of basic potato.
Anyuma awo birasi abele umundu kunyola kabusa burasi mumatore kwangalisha kabusa kwabusya project ino yekirenda yi yakosomisya kwalama kubakolera ne bumicho buno kwabona nga bumicho buno buli khenjawulo khufura abe butayirwe kuba abe ubwo kwangalisha kabusa bubukho mitole muno na khubyala khwamisya waye ne mukenyumu.
Partnering with the ADA project and in collaboration with the Ugandan leading research institute Bugazadi, the project implementers availed quality certified basic seed and training to farmers.
With the sub-counties selecting potato as their priority commodities, then the demand is passed on to us, which then we supply the seed to the sub-counties, who then supply it to their constituent farmer groups.
Scientists here also introduced different effective technologies to reach out to the deserving farmers.
We've been able to pass on positive-negative selection techniques to the major producing areas in Sebei, particularly in Benet sub-county of Kwen district.
On this tipping point of the mountain, this group of 15 farmers were introduced to small seed plot technology, where they were trained on various aspects of potato production.
One of them that we felt it was actually very important is the training and the learning. We are trained That's why I'm telling you the issue of sorting. If you had come here before that time, you would see all these flowers are mixed. But after that training, we realized that sorting was also important. And even our farmers, our people who are selling this seed, they realized that it was actually important.
Today, the group has increased its production area tenfold, and the yields have been overwhelming. Potato production here has surpassed expectations. Families must ponder what to do next, as the harvests have displaced them from their houses. The farmers now need to invest in well-constructed, diffused light stores to store their potato. In Marafa district, a few kilometres from Mbale town in eastern Uganda, eager farmers have started a potato school. Here we find their teacher today talking them through different aspects of potato farming.
Key message: awareness on holiday seed. Yes, both sides. We say, what is it? What have come? And we saw that is a potato seed.
It's a long-awaited relief. Most of the other foodstuffs here are on their deathbed. Banana, being the main food of the Ugandans, seems to be drifting into an abyss. The lethal BXW disease is taking its toll, and the cassava crop does not look promising either. However, a solution to the impending hunger came knocking, and today the future looks towards a more food-secure society.
We are not getting enough food and enough crops, but we are basing on Irish potatoes, which we have started to plant, so as to help us in food and money for fees for children.
The highlands are beaming back to life. The once dying potato crop is again providing food to the farmers, providing income, and improving livelihoods. Potato is the hope, and the new dawn has come to the potato farmers in Eastern Africa.